And is there a bit of a Sydney and Melbourne banter? And like, are the crowds different in that? Do they say like Sydney, "Oh, you guys all beach body ready"? And
no, no, I think well, well, they're probably intercity more than anything. Like if you want to make fun of a suburb or a place, if you're in Sydney, you pretty much make fun of a place called Penrith. If you're in Melbourne, you make fun of a place called Frankston. If you're in Adelaide, you make fun of a place called Elizabeth. If you're in Brisbane, you make fun of a place called Ipswich. If you're in Perth, you make fun of Perth. Um, so yeah, so it's not as far distance. So I think our rivalries here, there's not a lot of comedy rivalry. There's a bit of city rivalry with, oh, Sydney's a better Sydney, Melbourne's a better city, like living in. But they're two different places. Melbourne's an indoor place. It's great for entertainment. It's cold in winter, so a lot of indoor stuff there. It's big on sport. Sydney is beautiful because of the harbour, and it's very more outdoorsy. The beaches and the harbours, the sort of thing. So there are differences in places. I find Adelaide and Melbourne probably have a more rivalry when it comes to sport, and when jokes happen. If you're looking at jokes, Adelaide and Melbourne sort of make fun of each other with jokes more than Sydney and Melbourne would.
oh, okay. Why is that? Why do they have beef?
Um, that was probably because of sport. We used to do the Australian football rules used to be the state of origin, and Melbourne's where it's sort of mainly based at. But and they've always sort of considered themselves the king of sport. Where Adelaide have come in and they've got a couple of teams in the competition now, and they've won a couple of premierships, and the players used to go across to those states. So yeah, it probably stemmed from sport more than anything. Mm.
So is there? So I remember. I think this is
And
what
also,
Andy Murray.
people travel between those two places more regularly than Adelaide
Oh,
people would
okay.
go to Sydney, or they're probably closer in that respect. Where Melbourne people go to Adelaide, Adelaide go to Melbourne. Where Sydney's a holiday destination, and people just think it's too busy and too spread out. So
I heard the story about Andy Murray saying that he didn't necessarily want England to do badly in the World Cup. He just wanted them to lose every game. And
yeah.
have you had anything like that in terms of Adelaide, Melbourne, or Sydney, where someone said something along those lines?
Uh, no, well, see, like I said, me originally from Adelaide. Adelaide, when I was growing up, it was like the murder capital of Australia. But it was all weird murders. That's the thing, It was like just they just didn't kill people. There was like pedophile rings and people. Apparently there were high court judges involved, and there's a mob called the Family. We had missing children off beaches, and then there was a bodies in the barrel thing where somebody was collecting. They were collecting what do you call it? Welfare money and welfare checks, and by killing people and then putting them in barrels of acid in a bank vault in a country town. And so yeah, they didn't just muck around with killing people. They were very bloody creative, and I used to used to do the joke about but Adelaide being the murder capital of the world, and when they brought in a team into the Australian football competition, they called it the Adelaide Crows. I thought, geez, what do you call a group of crows? It's called a murder of crows. I said, bloody hell, could have been something a bit more subtle.
Okay. Yeah. It's and is Russell Crowe Australian or Kiwi? Because I've heard that joke as well.
Oh yeah, no, he was born in New Zealand. I think depends if he fucks up or not. If he makes a goose of himself, he's a Kiwi. If he doesn't, he's Aussie. Oddly enough, I actually lived next door to him when I first moved to Sydney. He lived next door to me. I was in 1429A Nelson Street, and he lived in 1429B. And I used to get
Ah.
some of his mail in the letterbox. And one day I saw him at a pub down the road one night, and I just said, "Oh, I live, next door to you. Keep getting your mail." And he just looked at me and went, "Yeah, well, don't fucking read it." I said, "Oh, yeah, nice talking to you." Yeah.
Yeah.